welcome back to my film and TV channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well, and we got an epic to look at today. Yes, not in the normal sense, I suppose. Well produced, well put together. Could be pleasing on the eye, not so good on the ears though. We're talking The Testament of Anne Lee. Yes, a Manchester girl. So obviously, like me, a Manchester lad. So yeah, from a long time ago, of course. I must admit the accents in this are probably more northern than Manchester, but who really cares if you're not from Manchester? I don't particularly care. It's a reasonable cast in this one. It's a 15 certificate. It's long, as epic should be, 136 minutes. And of course, it's a biographical, historical, musical drama. Yeah, the music, a couple of songs were catchy, but mostly painful on the ears, in fairness. It's mostly wailing and, you know, this thing that I've seen like Jewish people do, Muslims do, where they do this with the, you know, when they're sort of to Allah or God or whoever it is they're doing all this to. So there's a lot of that in it, which I found, to be honest with you, a little bit annoying at times. Once you've seen it, why do we have to keep being shown the same sort of things? But we get the gist. We don't need to be reminded of it. This is directed by Mona Fastvold, who co-wrote it with Brady Corbett, and the film, of course, stars the wonderful, and again, I've watched this as a second film I've seen her in recently. She was brilliant in the other one I watched as well. This is Amanda Seyfried as Anne Lee. I think the other one was it Housemaid. Couldn't get much different to this one, could we? I think it was The Housemaid I watched her in recently, and she was, of course, the founding leader of the Shakers, a religious sect in the 18th century. Yeah, a bit more on the Shakers in a moment. Rattlers and Shakers. Limited theatrical release in the United States on Christmas Day. Who goes to the pictures on Christmas Day? And the United Kingdom on the 27th of February 2026. I'm reviewing this on the 20th of March 2026. Alyssa Wilkinson from the New York Times, I think she liked this. She scored it 100. She's not alone. A lot of people did. That it may not be to everyone's taste, no, or to yours, feels almost besides the point. When an artist takes a swing this colossal and stays true to their vision in every way, the resulting work deserves respect and is always worth seeing. Yeah, like a piece of art that you don't understand particularly, but you see other people swooning over it and analysing it and all this sort of thing. Yes, it's one of those arty-farty films, guys, that, anyway, we'll talk about it. Kevin Mayer from the Times wasn't as impressed. He only scored it 40. He said, the film, alas, and it pains me to say it, is not very good. It's overwhelmingly, unfortunately, self-serious and thus accidentally very Monty Python. I wish it had been Monty Python. There's little dramatic tension and the music is close to agony. It is very painful, very painful on the old ears. I say that. I don't mind, you know, just a couple of them, just to set the scene of what these people are at, but to be constantly have it, the noise and the dance thrown at you, it's, you know, I do like a musical, as you know, I do like a musical, but I wouldn't class this as a musical. What's it about anyway? We know it's about Anne Lee, the founding leader of the Shaker movement, and she's proclaimed as the female Christ by her followers, so that'll cause a few problems, as we know. It's happened to other people, hasn't it, in the past? This film depicts her establishment of a utopian society and the Shakers' worship through song and dance based on real events. Yes, well, a bit less song and dance and more on a story wouldn't have been too far amiss. Doesn't mean I didn't like this guy. I'm not saying it was totally disappointing. As I said, it stars the wonderful Amanda Seyfried. We've got Lewis Pullman stars in this as a brother, Thomasin McKenzie, we've got Matthew Baird, Christopher Abbott, Violet Prettlejohn, Stacey Martin, Scott Hardy, David Cale, Jamie Boggio, Tim Blake Nelson there, lots and lots and lots. A good cast, strong cast. Listen, I've heard of the Quakers, but I've never heard of the Shakers, of course, away from Bury Football Club, whose nickname is the Shakers. But there you go. If you're not into your football, you might not know that. There's possibly more chanting and passion, though, in this lot than can be seen on a damp Tuesday night down at Gig Lane, probably. That's for sure, anyway. Although I'd probably, at least it's more harmonic, probably down at King Lane, than this was. I do like quirky, and this certainly has that in spades, including Siegfried, of course, in one of her best character roles ever, possibly. And I did credit her and say she had a wonderful performance in that other film I mentioned before, Housemaid, which I've watched recently. I think the style and presentation of the film is going to put many off just normal Joe Public. I mean, but it is getting good scores from Joe Public. So I assume many, if watching this at home, may switch channels or even walk out of the cinema at one stage. It's one of those films that, you know, it sort of gets beyond bearable at times. But I fully understand it. I fully understand people doing that, but I think it's worth sticking with, even to just learn a little bit about the story of these Shakers, which is what I wanted to know about. I wanted a little bit more background. I wanted to know what was going on. And it's a shame because within the bloated runtime of 2 hours 20 minutes, it was just too much of unnecessary worshipping musical chest thumping scenes, and there's just too many of them. We needed a bit more story, I think, to tell us a little bit more about the characters and what was going on. It's a story I was very interested in away from this. I mean, it's something I'd probably read a little bit, not too deeply. I'm not that interested in religion anyway, but just the motivations for this cult and the fact what happened to it, and is it still there? I don't know. I've not read up on it yet, but it makes me want to go out and find out a little bit more. But I wouldn't mind if finding out a little bit more through this film, you know, I wouldn't rather than having it being a bit of a pain for my ears for most part of it. Some scenes are harrowing, of course. There is, you know, you can imagine someone's proclaiming himself as a reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Obviously, there's going to be people who object to that physically, nastily as well. Of course, there is. But yeah, I think the filmmakers, they could have got a more routine story, shall we say, rather than this musical attack on your ears, etc. Something a little less noisy. That's for sure on this one. I wouldn't have minded seeing you know, there's a story there. I wouldn't have minded seeing more of a story and less of the music and dancing that, as I say, wasn't even very good to listen to. James Mottram from the Radio Times scored this 40. He said, devised by brutalist composer. Well, that says a lot, doesn't it? Daniel Blumberg. The songs are spirited and Mamma Mia star Siegfried invests fully, but with characters often reduced to making declamatory statements, it becomes an increasingly vexing exercise. Yeah, I think I mentioned the brutalist there. I mean, I didn't really like that film at all. At least with this one, I found a little bit more entertainment, perhaps, if I dig deep and sort of forget all the scenes that I thought were worthless. At least I found some more entertainment in this than I did out of the brutalist. Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian scored it 60 out of 100. He said, this is a genuinely strange film. He's right there. Elusive in both tone and meaning, one which deploys the obvious effects and rhetorical forms of irony, while at the same time distancing itself from these effects and asking its audience to sympathise and even admire Lee, because she's not supposed to be a villain. I didn't particularly think of her as a villain as this. I mean, she believes certain things, and I appreciate people for whatever reason, whether it's mental health problems or just how people have been brought in this world, you know, how they've been nurtured. But it all got lost. A lot of this got lost in the whole noisy mix of it all. Sophie Butcher from Empire liked it, though. She scored at 80. She said, a one-of-a-kind, it certainly is, cinematic experience from Mona Fastfold, shot in glorious 70mm, fueled by music and movement that will shake your soul. See it on the big screen if you can. Yeah, take your earplugs and sunglasses off, so that might help as well. Wendy Ives from Screen Daily. We'll leave the last word to Wendy and then I'll conclude. It's a frayed, she scored it 70, she liked it. It's a frayed fabric of a story that contains moments of daring, artistry and beauty, but doesn't always knit together into something satisfying and solid. Well, that's how I found it. I didn't think it knit together totally at all. Got bits out of it that I enjoyed, but generally not so much. I think many will tire of this. I nearly did, but I said I hope to learn a little bit about this religious sect. And as the film did move on, and they went over to the New World, of course, from Manchester over to America, got a little bit more information. But again, it wasn't that wasn't that much released to us. It is too arty-farty at times. As entertainment for me, it let itself down for most of it. Out of the 2 hours, 20 minutes, I probably enjoyed 45 minutes to an hour of it. I found it interesting. The rest of it, just a waste of time, really. But I can understand and fully appreciate it's like a work of art that you don't fully appreciate. There's stuff gone into it. People can get stuff out of it. But this work of art will certainly turn a lot of people off, and it almost turned me off totally. So we'll have a look at the scores. Rotten Tomatoes, 204 critics, 175 fresh, just 29 rotten, so very popular. The consensus, illuminated by Amanda Seyfried's sterling performance, as testament of Anne Lee accepts the Shakers founder on her own terms and reaches its own rhapsodic highs as a result. Yes, very high, unfortunately. Rotten Tomatoes audience, Joe Public like it, 4 out of 5. Metacritic, the critics, 80 out of 100, 43 critics, they like it. No negatives, 5 mixed, but 38 positive. The users, the guys who go onto the website, Metacritic, 6.4 out of 10. Internet Movie Database, yeah, that's all that matters really, almost 5,000 scores and reviews, and it's getting a 6.7. So, you know, even though it's for me, more a critic's film, more a work of art, if you like, that's probably appreciated less by Joe Public, this is being liked by Joe Public. So that's all good. Personally, I can never recommend something like this because, as I say, I struggled to watch it. I wanted something different to what we got. I sort of knew what was coming because I've seen various trailers and read reviews of this, etc., and it was exactly what I thought was coming. It was just hard work for me at times, and I just want to sit back and relax and enjoy a film. But as I say, I probably would have enjoyed a more routine storytelling with this one, so I could find out a little bit of what it's all about. And now I have to go and find out a little bit more if I get the chance to find out what the Shakers were all about. So I'm going to give it a 5.5, so half a point below my recommended score, because as I say, I appreciate the work that's gone into this. Just not really for me as such, you know, although, as I said, it wasn't a total waste of 2 hours, 20 minutes, probably a waste of about an hour and 20 minutes, but never mind. Let me know what you think, guys. I'm happy I sat through it. I can't say that for my ears, though. My ears can't say they're overly happy with me forcing them to sit through that. But anyway, never mind. Let us know what you think, guys. It's all about opinions, of course it is. And as I say, most people like it. So there you go. Please, if you're watching on TikTok, hit that like button, hit the friends button. It'd be great to follow you back, of course. Great for you to listen in, and I hope you enjoyed the content. And if you're on YouTube or you go over to YouTube from TikTok, please give us those thumbs ups on there. Helps me as a content creator, certainly. And a lot of people mark the film, actually, and give a thumbs down if they don't like the film. I've had it said before, I didn't like the film, so they give it a thumbs down. But you sort of, you know, you're doing that for the review and helping me out, not the film itself. So it's an odd thing, isn't it? But any hype points you've got, guys, on YouTube, if you can spare us any this week, that'll be most appreciative of me, of you. And of course, if you want me to do anything for you, I mean, there's always, if you've got a shout out for something through the channel or any of my socials, you want me to give you a plug for anything, a project or a charity, yeah, just get in touch. The ways of doing that, if you just stay with me for another minute or so on YouTube, you'll find out ways of doing that. Or if you're on TikTok, yeah, just shoot over to YouTube, and you get all the graphics on YouTube as well, all the little bits and pieces with this and the football vlog. So get over there. So if you want to find out a little bit more about the channel and helping out and how I can help you, just stay watching and listening. Hi again, hope you enjoyed the feature, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, if you did enjoy the content, please give us a thumbs up, and if you've not already done so, press that subscribe button. If you've not already subscribed, that'd be wonderful. It's free to subscribe, absolutely free. Also, check out my social media links if you want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. They'll all be in the description below. And my special thanks to supporters of the channel, yes, Piat6505, who have an eBay shop selling film and TV memorabilia, including posters, books, magazines. There'll be a link again in the comments section. And if you're into your football, don't forget my football stuff on Manchester City for general football fans, but mainly City fans, of course. Or if you know someone who might enjoy that, give them a kick in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful.
And as ever, guys, yeah, comments on this feature is wonderful. Anything to do with film and TV is always very, very welcome. It's great to talk film and TV. I thank you guys for your support. Stay safe, everyone.